everybody, and welcome back to my kitchen. It's Friday night, and all week long I've been having a hankering for some Chinese noodles, so that is exactly what we're doing tonight. So I'm making a variation on a recipe that I found on a website called Marian's Kitchen, and I will post a link to the original website below. But I've added a couple different things and switched up a couple of different ingredients. You can really throw in whatever you like and what you have in your pantry. So let's quickly talk ingredients here. So I have 2 packages of udon noodles. So you can get these at the supermarket and they come vacuum sealed in these little packs. And what you basically do is cut the top off, you bring some water to a simmer, you put the noodles into the water, take them out of the pack and put them in the water. Immediately take your water off the heat and you're just going to kind of jiggle your noodles to get them so that they separate. And then you're immediately going to take them out of your water and put them on a side dish with some sesame oil just so that they don't clump up on you. Other ingredients, we have a cup of chopped carrot here. We've got some spring onions, green onions. We've got about a cup and a bit of broccoli florets. The original recipe called for cabbage, I just didn't have any cabbage. And then for our sauce, we have got 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce, which is very thick and literally made from oysters, although it does not smell fishy. We've got some soy sauce, about 2 tablespoons of that. 2 tablespoons of Hoisin sauce, which is also kind of a sweet, thicker liquid, and some rice wine vinegar here. Now I've got my sesame oil out, ready to go. I've got my sriracha sauce, just because we're going to see, and also my PC Memories of Hong Kong sesame ginger, just in case I need to tweak the flavors at all. And of course, about not quite a pound of ground beef. So come on over and we're going to get started. Okay, so here's our noodles coming out of our packet, and the water is at a boil. I'm actually going to cut the heat on the water because I don't want to boil these. I just basically want to loosen them up a little bit. We're going to let those sit in the hot water for a couple of minutes, get a little bit happy. All right. I'm going to let those sit because they're going to need a couple more minutes, and then as soon as they're able to be separated by gently sort of shaking and jiggling, I'm going to use my strainer. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to set them aside. We're going to put some sesame oil in our wok. There's about probably a tablespoon here. I'm going to turn my heat up a bit. You can do this in a pan too. It doesn't have to be a wok. But if you're using a wok in particular, make sure you use something that's not going to scratch it. I think I also forgot to talk about this last time. I've got some white onion. I've got 1 white onion that I finely chopped. I've got some ginger, and I've got some garlic. So first things first, onion into the wok. And now our garlic and our ginger. Watch your heat isn't too high because you don't want burnt garlic. While that's getting a little happy, I'm going to check on our noodles here. Yeah, they're coming along. Just kind of break them up. It's not the best breaking up tool. Okay, and now I'm going to add my carrots and my broccoli. And we're just going to stir fry this until we have sort of cooked some of the moisture out of those veggies because we don't want our sauce to be any liquidier than it needs to be. Okay, a little bit of oil, sesame oil, in the bottom of my wok. I've got some of the moisture cooked out of my broccoli, but it's still going to be nice and crisp. I'm just going to dump my beef in. And I'm going to kind of spread it out, flatten it down. And now I'm going to resist the urge to fuss with it. I want the liquid that's in there to kind of work its way out. And this is a brilliant way of doing it. I would have never thought of doing it this way. I would be mixing everything all together. But Marion's Kitchen, full credit for this tip of spreading out your beef on the bottom of your wok. And as you can see, it's starting to turn. And some of that liquid is coming out. So we're going to continue this until a lot of the liquid has evaporated, at which point I'll start stir frying again. So as you can see, the beef is cooking away. It's starting to brown on the bottom. It might even be charring just a little bit, and according to Marion, that's okay. We're just going to resist the urge to move it around, just let it do its thing for a few more minutes. Okay, so most of the moisture cooked out of our meat, and as you can see, some of the pieces have that kind of brown, crispy charring on it. That's good. That's what we want. So we're just going to give everything else a stir, and we're going to get rid of any residual pink that's in that meat. Scrape the bottom of our wok as we do. Smelling good. Just a little bit of pinkness there. We want to make sure we have all of that cooked perfectly through before we start throwing our sauce ingredients in. At this point, I'm going to add not all, but most of the green onions. I want to save a few for garnish. Okay, looking good. So we're going to add our sauce ingredients. Soy sauce. This one is really thick. This is our oyster sauce. This is our Hoisin sauce. And this is our rice wine vinegar. Ooh, it smells good. Give everything a stir. And now, the moment of truth, we take our noodles, which I tossed with a little bit of sesame oil when they first came out. Add those in. We're going to give everything a toss together. We'll let those noodles get really nice and warm, and then we're going to go to the plate. But look at that. That is looking beautiful. And to this, this is not in any way spicy at this point. You could garnish each individual plate with a little sriracha sauce if you're not sure who likes hot and who doesn't, or some chili flakes, just the normal kind of chili flakes that you would put on pizza. So we'll see you in a minute when we go to the plate. So there you go, guys, on the plate, looking delicious, tasting delicious, smelling wonderful, lots of fresh flavors, and it came together pretty quick once you have all your prep done. So this is a variation on Marion's Kitchen Hoisin beef noodles. I'm just calling it Asian beef stir fry. See you again soon.